Former SASCOC president and anti-apartheid activist Sam Ramsamy is recalling his interactions with Desmond Tutu. He speaks to us now about his chats with the Arch. Thank you very much, Mr. Ramsamy, for your time here on All Angles. I mean, you played an important role in South African sports, but so did the Archbishop as well as former President Nelson Mandela. Tell us a little bit about your interactions with the Arch.
Both the Arch and Nelson Mandela played a very important role, and both of them, I still refer to them as Dada, and I can't call them in any other name. When I returned from exile in 1990, one of the first people that I met, besides Nelson Mandela, was the Archbishop, and he told me then, Sam, you are still a marked man because white people haven't forgotten that you prevented them from participating internationally. You watch it. And after a year, of course, we became very close friends, and then we met quite often, both not only on the sports field, but also at all political rallies. And, you know, every time I met with him, I learned something new, because he was such an educated person. And what I discovered, you know, if I might use the Christian term of evangelizing people, he was an evangelist in all walks of life, you know, whether it was Hinduism or whether it was Islam or Judaism in any other form. You know, that is why I always say he was an evangelist for social justice and correction in all its manifestation. I can never forget that. And also, he was there preparing to crack jokes. Whenever we were at football matches or cricket matches or at rugby matches, he always said, Sam, when are we getting the Olympic Games here? And I said, Dada, this is also the wish of our late Madiba, and we have to now urge the government, because the government is a very important component to see how we can play this. And of course, he was always full of jokes. And, you know, there were so many issues. And one joke I will never forget. He said he was on a plane traveling from Johannesburg to Cape Town, and next to him was another person. And then while they were having a meal, of course, the person next to him asked for black pepper. And, of course, the white steward looked in amazement. And next moment, he brought the Sowetan instead of bringing black pepper. That joke I will never forget. And he has repeated that joke so many times. And as I'm saying to you here now, many of my colleagues will remember this, and even in the political front that were involved with the liberation struggle. And he was, you know, it's so extraordinary a person. And of course, I got to know, as a result of that, Mama and Leah always got to know me. And in the early stages, whenever I went to visit them, Mama Leah was always there. Your friend is on a telephone message or something, and can you wait? And next moment, because even before I asked, she knew that I liked Roy Bosti, and Roy Bosti was in front of me. Extraordinary person. I can never forget, you know, the many interactions I had with him.
Of course.
I remember, for instance, I give a very good example. In 1992, all of us will remember the Boipatol incident. And of course, after Nelson Mandela and the Arch visited Boipatong, he said, look, now we are very upset with the national government, and we try to open up all avenues of interaction with them internationally, and they've let us down. We will now have to close it. And one of the issues that came up then was we shouldn't go to the Olympic Games in 1992, which the Arch and Nelson Mandela had previously agreed. And I went to the Arch and I said, Arch, we've got a problem. I went to Mululeki George. Unfortunately, he's no more with us too. And I said, we have a problem. In the beginning, I was very skeptical about saying, let's go before the democratic election. You and Dara, of course, that's Nelson Mandela, indicated, Sam, we need to show to the white people that we are all one. And this will help us tremendously in leading up to the elections. I agreed. Now you tell me we mustn't go. He says, don't worry, Sam, we'll fix it up. And then we drew up a special, we got a special artist to draw up a peace plan, a peace a type of a brooch which all of us put on, a lapel badge that we all put on with a peace dove, very famous at that particular stage with most of the artists in the United Kingdom and in France. We put that up, and Arch said, Sam, I will now support you. I will call on everybody that we need to send our team to the Olympic Games. And when we returned, he was so happy because we came back with 2 silver medals. We never prepared very well. Ilana Meyer brought back a silver medal, and Wayne Ferreira and Pete Noval brought back a silver medal, just losing to the favorites. The favorites at that stage in the tennis were the top German tennis players, Boris Becker and Stich. And we just lost to them, and we were so very proud. And when we returned, Arch was there to welcome us, and he said, Sam, I'm glad we all went there, and you now proved it. We are one, we are united, and this is going to be a very, very excellent procedure leading up to the election.
And of course, Mr. Ramsamy, talking about that 1992 massacre in Buibatong, it was the IFP that attacked there, and you're saying that the Arch came to you and said that we need to show the white people that we are still together. So that was black on black violence, but clearly the Archbishop played an important role in making sure that Africans supported each other in the fight against apartheid.
Yeah, that is true. But also there was a rumor, and of course up to now it hasn't been proved, but there is still speculation that the police, the white police, which was again encouraged by they believe it wasn't also proved in the Truth and Reconciliation program, that there was involvement by some members of the National Party. Whether that was true or not, we didn't know. But the important thing there was we wanted to bring everybody together, because both the Arch and Nelson Mandela felt that sport is a uniting factor. It is a uniting factor. It's got no religion, it's got no language. And that is why we needed to use sport to unite. And as you know, sport played a very important role in uniting the country, and it still plays a very important role, although I'm a bit disappointed at the development procedure, the transformation procedure, although very slow. In fact, I've always mentioned this to Dada and to Nelson Mandela. Unfortunately, we are moving very, very slow in transformation, but I said it will come.
It will come indeed. And of course, I assume that you will be one of those people, at least while you're still here with us, to try and assist, those who've already fallen, leaders such as Nelson Mandela and the Archbishop, to carry on with that fight for equality.
We definitely will do. That's very important, because sport plays a very important role, because it's got no social barriers as such. And for instance, now at the moment there's a cricket match between South Africa and India. And the top bowler there, who's taken the 3 Indian wickets, is a wonderful young man, Ngidi. And of course, we are so proud that we are accelerating transformation to some extent.
Thank you very much. I see Mr. Sam Ramsamy still very interested in his sports. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Thank you for speaking to us here on ENCA. Former SASCOC president and anti-apartheid activist Sam Ramsamy.